Welcome everyone to the Mod Golf Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Colin Weston, the host of the Mod Golf Podcast. And hey, just finished up a great conversation with Kathy Erikson, who is the creator and owner of the Short Game Place. Love her entrepreneurial energy. And after we finished that up, jumped here on a Zoom call here, like we always do, to have an extended conversation, talk about some different things here on our YouTube channel. So, hey, I want to start off by saying hello again to Kathy. How you doing there?
I'm doing great. How are you doing again?
Doing great. So where are you joining us from today?
Well, today I'm in South Carolina. I'm in Blacksburg.
There we go. So you're a little warmer than I am today. I'm in Vancouver, Canada, up here in the corner north of Seattle. So although it was snowing a couple of days ago, so the first weekend, all winter, I haven't played golf at least once. So I took the week off. So hopefully I'll get back out there in the soggy rainforest wetness of Vancouver next week. But hey, this gives us more time to do a podcast conversation.
Yes, it does. It does.
So hey, to start off with here, tell us a little bit about the Short Game Place. What is it?
So it's an indoor par 2 golf course. It's a universal design, so anyone with any ability can play golf. You can learn golf, play golf, you can hone your skills. It's indoors, so you can play 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is 10 to 30-yard holes where you can actually improve your short game because every hole is a real world experience over real water, over bushes, over trees, through trees, out of real bunker sand. So it's golf.
It is golf. And what I love, our earlier conversation, is this isn't something you thought of yesterday. How many years have you been incubating and developing and nurturing this idea where now is the time? I know we're still in COVID times here, but in the next year or so, you'll be in a great place, and the timing is great where you are as far as the business and ready to build the first facility. So how many years have you been at this, Kathy?
30, yeah.
30 years. Yeah. And the planets are aligning now. And the timing is could not be better. I heard an interesting stat. Actually, it was a guy that we had on the podcast back about 4 or 5 months ago, and they're developing a kind of a Topgolf like entertainment facility, kind of next level as far as the gamification of this. And he understands the business side of this as being a Silicon Valley tech entrepreneur, and said, everybody thinks, a Topgolf valued at $2 to $3 billion when Callaway acquired them a couple of months ago. It's like, the market is saturated. But the fact is, they're looking at this now as a $10 to $15 billion industry in that golf entertainment alternative to traditional green grass golf experiences. So Topgolf is just a small slice of the pie. So it sounds like with the Short Game Place, you're looking to get a slice of the pie there too, Kathy.
I am definitely looking at a slice of the pie. I foresee $1 billion company in the future. I do. When we're about 1/3 the size of Topgolf. So we have a lot of expansion we can do that they can't.
Love it. And the fact that you are taking this entrepreneurial approach of not trying to boil the ocean and be everything to everyone everywhere at the same time. You are starting with, as we call, your beachhead and your first location. So where are you looking to acquire the land to build the Short Game Place?
We're actually hoping to open the first one in North Texas. But the people up in Michigan or in Colorado are going, why? So it's just, I moved to Frisco, Texas in 92. So I know the area very well. And we do have days where we won't play golf outside because it's either too hot or there's severe thunderstorms. So, it'll fit there too, but North Texas.
Nice. Now, this is no longer your side hustle. I believe it was a couple of years ago that you said, I'm all in with this. So tell us, as an entrepreneur, so one of the problems with being an entrepreneur, you have so many options and so many opportunities, or what am I going to miss out on? Is what is your why? What is your purpose behind this? Well, why did you decide this is what I'm going to move forward and have that courage to go all in on this? So tell us a little bit about that. Why you've decided this is the thing for you.
Well, my husband, before we we got married, it was a prerequisite to dating him is that I had to learn how to play golf. So golf is kind of in my blood, right? I love golf, and golfers, it's a wonderful community, and people don't realize what it takes to actually be a golfer. Somebody who is honest, somebody who has the integrity to say, you know what, I messed up and I tapped that ball, even though you didn't see it, I'm going to penalize myself. So it has a lot to do with creating a better world because you have better people. They're learning, how to be better people and stuff. And so for me, that's something special to be part of that. But the other part is to find a place in a way so that people who could not play golf previously can now play golf. And that's probably, I'd have to say 75% of the population have been left out of golf all these years. And so I'm creating a place for the 75% population out there that didn't have a place to play. So that's big.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I understand now, you're no longer have that kind of physical capability to play a traditional 18
Yeah,
hole,
correct.
5,000, 6,000 yard course. So
Right.
this you can rejuvenate your passion for golf also.
Boy, I'm so excited about this. I have a neuromuscular disease that basically it gets worse every year. And so the first thing is I started losing the use of my hands. And the ability to hold a golf club is kind of important, right? You have to be able to hold it in your hand. And so if you're swinging and the club face turns when it hits the ball, there's a problem there. You can't get the ball off the tee, right? So this will give me the ability to not only for myself to play, but other people that are either in the same boat or they've retired and they just can't play a long course anymore. Or, they can't tolerate the sun. They need, to be in shade all the time. And so, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I love it. Well,
it's
and
big.
it is big, and the U.S. has roughly 15 million golfers, people that identify as golfers, meaning they play at least 2 rounds a year.
Mhm.
But you got 350 million people. So between the ages of 5 to 95, don't want to
Yeah.
disclude those 100 years old. Okay, let's say 105.
Mhm.
That you've then got not just the golfers, which is a big market, but you've got something, if my math is correct in my head here, about 20 times that size as far as
Right.
the kind of the market size that you could access here with something that is fun and shareable as far as experiences for people that
Right.
have never picked up a club before to someone that's a scratch golfer to come in and enjoy and learn and experience that. So talking about experiences,
Exactly.
why don't you run through for our viewers here, once you're open and we show up to the short game place, what should we expect? What is the experience going to be like for the next 2 hours?
So you'll first of all you'll have the opportunity to go ahead and pre-book your tee time on our mobile app, right? So either the website or mobile app. So you just go right to the hole. When you get there, you'll be surprised that you'll be entering a room. The rooms are each of the holes are in their own room. They're very large rooms, so it's not like your living room. These are large. They're 30 yards wide to 90 to 120 yards long. So they're good sized rooms. But when you walk in, you look around and you go, oh my gosh, I'm outside. Um, if you've ever been to Disneyland and you go inside one of the buildings and you're like, wow, this is like I'm really outside, this is what you're going to experience. So you'll see it as if you are on the world-class golf courses and you started 10 yards from the pristine greens, right? Or 30 yards from the pristine greens. So it's the best of outdoor golf indoors to be able to play. So the lighting, we can change the lighting. We can add breezes so that the wind picks up for you if you need to practice you're going to be playing in Texas, and Texas, it's 40 miles an hour wind. That's normal for us, right? So we're trying to give you a real world experience of playing golf, but being able to actually physically play in a game. So you might start in a 4 foot deep bunker. You might start out of 4 inch rough, or you might be on a 4 foot high berm. Um, and chipping down onto a green that's actually slanted down and it ends in water. So, and the water's real. So, there's all these really great hazards. There's things that it's challenging. And so it's not a putt-putt, and it's not even a putt-putt on steroid. This is real golf, only this is real skills, fun, and, exciting.
Nice, nice. And of course, I have my own club, so I could bring my putter and a couple of
Correct.
wedges. But let's say I'm brand new to the game, or let's say it's a bunch of school kids.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that you're able to rent clubs there, and,
We
and
will
that's
be
something you
renting
could do
clubs.
to make it
That's
as easy
correct.
as possible. Kind of that
Sure.
Top Golf experience that
Mhm.
they had formed a partnership with Callaway years ago. I think they
Right.
ended up acquiring 15% of the company about 10 years ago, and now, of course, they have all of it.
All
So
of it.
maybe there's some partnerships there for you too, as far
Hey,
as putter and wedge companies could be.
absolutely, absolutely. We're talking to quite a few of them, and we missed Taylor by this much getting
Yeah.
down. But the idea behind it is we're going to partner with the best short game clubs, because this
Mhm.
is all about short games. So that's who we're going to be looking for to partner with. And we're going to have the top notch clubs. So if you've never played before, you'll have an opportunity to play with really nice clubs. We won't just have, little cheap clubs because you're renting them. You'll get to rent really good clubs.
Nice,
So
nice.
yeah.
Well, I know they're a smaller company, but maybe you should talk to, we had him on the podcast, a gentleman, Terry Kaler, who is the founder of Edison Wedges. He's out of
Mhm.
Texas also.
Nice.
They, like I
Okay.
said, small company. We had him on, also did a review of their products and also a giveaway a couple of months
Nice.
ago, and they did that. That was fun. But yeah, they have really good quality wedges too. So you never know. I think that
Well,
it's all about
yeah,
partnerships too, in order to
it
propel
is
yourself forward.
partnerships. It is, because our biggest thing, the short game place, is here to really propel golf into the next century, right? We want to grow golfers. We want children. We want women. We want minorities. We want persons with differing abilities, right? The universal design crew. We want everybody playing golf, and that's going to expand the marketplace for any of the manufacturers of short games. Plus, they're going to be like, well, I want to go out and play on the real courses, and so they'll sell the long clubs too. So
Absolutely.
that's, yeah, that's what we want to do.
No, sounds like you're building a very nice gateway as far as that onboarding first experience to make
Thank
golf
you.
welcoming and inviting for everyone. Because as we
I hope
know
so.
that putting and chipping are the most important parts of the game as far as
Extremely.
shaving strokes off. But the worst, I remember it was Harvey Pennick with his little red book. I remember reading one of the chapter he had is Golf for Children or Golf for Kids. And I read it a few years ago, and I think if I recall correctly, that there was a little kid with a driver. The parent puts the driver in the hand out of the driving range. And he's like, what are you
Mhm.
doing? That's the last club they need to have in their hand, because what's the object of the game? To get the ball in the hole in few strokes as possible. Pretty simple, right? So you should start close to the hole and move your way back rather than
Yeah,
that club that's farthest away. When you say it like that, it makes so much sense,
it
but
does.
so few people do it. Like they think it's
Right.
counterintuitive, but you know what? Get good at putting, then chipping, and then you get the motion, and then guess what? You get the mechanics down, the muscle
Absolutely.
memory, the neural pathways,
Yeah.
and then you can repeat a bigger swing. What a thing,
Yeah.
right?
I love it. You're going to come teach at my place, aren't you?
Me as a 14 handicap and not being a PGA professional, I think I'll stick to podcasting and design and entrepreneurship. I think
Gotcha.
I'm dangerous enough doing those things already. I don't know if I should expand into other areas, especially ones I don't know enough about. But
Oh,
but
gotcha.
yes.
Well, you will come and play. So
Yes,
I'll have,
that I will
we'll,
do. That I will
yeah.
do. I will not be teaching anybody anything. I think that would be. We'll leave that to the women and men that are the professionals in that area, which you will have in the short game place as far as
Yes.
another added feature too, if you want to then
Yes.
take those that ability.
They'll
I
be
understand.
on hand, and you'll be able to book times with them at various times of the day or night. 24/7 will be open. And so I'm sure there'll be PGA professionals who'll be very, very happy to come in at 11 o'clock and, train people if that's the
Nice.
time they're able to train.
Well, it gives them more revenue generating opportunities too, rather than when it's
It
dark
does.
out at a golf course or raining when they ain't doing that type of thing. So,
That's
hey,
right.
why don't we end it here? Because, of course, I
Okay.
want to have our viewers here become listeners, to listen to our full
Absolutely.
conversation on the Mod Golf Podcast
Yes.
episode. But I'm going to ask you this little fun question. Since, of course, you grew up and you became addicted to golf through having to with dating your husband, have you ever got a hole in one or come close? Or tell us one shot that you remember, the most memorable shot that makes you smile every time that you can remember, whenever that was.
I actually had two really memorable shots, but one memorable one I got a trophy for, and it was an eagle chip up, and it was a par 5, and I chipped up for an eagle, and it was a scramble, because mostly when I play golf, I play in a scramble, and I got a trophy for it because it was on the 18th hole, and it was this little outhouse because I was closest to the hole.
Got it.
So that had to been, that was probably the one that I will remember for the rest of my life, because I was so excited to get this trophy, and then I look at it and it's a brass outhouse. I'm like, okay, that hole. All right, okay, I got you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
But yeah, my husband, he did get a hole in one on the 13th hole of the golf course that they golfed at. It was before we actually started dating. So he actually had a hole in one, and I hope someday in a par 2 game to get a hole in one.
Here we
So
go.
at one of the short game places, I'll do that.
Absolutely, you will. Well, can't wait for that to
wait to
break
see
ground
after.
and get the rest of the funding in place and make that happen. And I have a feeling, Kathy, we're gonna have to jump on another podcast episode to
You know
to get
what?
an update
As we get further along, yes.
in another
And then
year to
I'll
see
be
where
able
things
to
are.
take you around. That'll be fun too.
Love it. Love it. So, hey, to finish up here, why don't you tell our viewers here where they can learn more about the Short Game Place?
Okay. So you can find us at theshortgameplace.com. You can find us on Facebook at The Short Game Place. I sometimes tweet. I haven't been very good at tweeting, but we are The Short Game Place on Twitter. But you can also find us at The Short Game Place on LinkedIn. So if you're in the golf business or you want to attach business-wise, LinkedIn is definitely the place to find us.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, as I'll leave below there in the comments there in the notes, some of those ways for people to get a hold of you. I also know you have a YouTube explainer video, about a 4-minute video. I'll put the link of that below too for you. Absolutely.
Oh, it's so fun. Yes,
that's what we'll do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There we go. It's been, like I said,
I've enjoyed it.
I can keep talking to you here, but let's keep it at this.
You got it.
Kathy Erikson.
Thank you,
It's been
Colin.
awesome with the Short Game Place.
My honor. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for reaching out.
You're welcome. All right. You take care. We'll talk soon.
I will. Bye.